We're dinking around with Eddie and Webby. Dinking around with Eddie and Webby tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I know what you're craving, but I'm craving some beer right now. Oh, hey, how's it going? This is Webby, not Eddie.
And I'm Eddie, and this is our 103rd Dinking Around.
Oh, yeah, episode 103.
Webby, did I see, was that White Castleman you had there?
It was, and he had quite the week last week at the Beer City Open. We might get to that a little bit later in the episode.
I'm excited to hear about it. Just like I'm excited to tell all of you guys listening in about our friends over at Volair Pickleball. Webby, how long have you and I been playing with Volair paddles for now? Do you even know?
I do not remember exactly how long it's been, but I do know we've been playing with Volair paddles way before we even formed any type of partnership with them.
Yeah, guys, listen, if you want to get your hands on a paddle that's going to suit your game, no matter what skill level you are, you got to go over to Volair.com. You got to use coupon code PB for life. And you're going to get what, Webby?
You're going to get yourself 10% off your order, and it's also going to show us some support in the process.
That's right. Honestly, the people at Volair are incredible. They make great paddles. You got to go check it out. Volair.com, coupon code PB for life.
That's right. And you know what else you could do, Eddie? You could answer this question.
What in the world is in that drink? What you got in that drink?
Well, Webby, tonight I'm going to be sipping on a beer that I've had for the past few episodes outside of a variants here or there, but it's just because it's the only thing I have in the motorhome right now. And that is, once again, the Mosaic Grouper from our friends over at Fort Myers Brewing Company. I love this beer. It's so good. It's tasty. But while I'm sipping on this, what are you going to be enjoying tonight?
Well, I am going to be enjoying something that I enjoyed quite a bit last week at the Beer City Open, and this is from our good friends at New Belgium Brewing, and that is the good old faithful Voodoo Ranger IPA.
Such a good beer, man. I love that one. It's always a good standby. And here, cheers, my friend.
Cheers, and cheers to everybody tuning in. Please be sure to let us know what you are drinking. I've really enjoyed hearing what people are drinking when they watch the show. We've had some people drinking some beers that you can only get overseas, so it's very interesting to hear that, but keep it up. Cheers.
Yep. Let us know what you're drinking. But Webby, it sounds like you might have a shout out. Is that right?
I do. I want to give a shout out to the fine folks at Pickleball 365. That is a new state-of-the-art facility. I've talked about them before, but last week they had this awesome event going on. I was in Grand Rapids the Monday after Beer City, and then as soon as I left Grand Rapids, I went all the way to the east side of Michigan, to Fairhaven, Michigan, to their facility, because they had a really cool event going on featuring none other than Ben and Colin Johns. They had a meet and greet going on. Colin Johns put on a clinic, and then something really cool happened. They did a thing where people could sign up, and then if their names got drawn, they got to play a point against Ben and Colin. So they would draw two different names. Those people would pair up and play against Ben and Colin, and then if those people won the point against them, then their name got into a drawing to where they could win like $500 or something like that. So very cool thing. And I did get a chance to play. I played with Nathan, who is one of the coaches over at Pickleball 365. If you guys haven't seen it yet, we have a video of that experience. You're definitely going to want to check it out. I'm not going to spoil it right here. You got to watch the video, but it was very fun. And I didn't even get to the best part of this event. Do you remember how Ben and I have had this long-standing challenge to where we would play ping pong against each other?
I do. In fact, I think it was like you guys were planning on doing it over 5 years ago at Simone's tournament, the Florida Grand Slam down in Bonita Springs, when you came down for it, but we weren't able to find a table in time before he had to head home, right?
Yeah, I could not find a ping pong table anywhere there. I feel like that's not an issue now, but back then, for whatever reason, nobody had a ping pong table accessible. Yeah. But it finally happened. Pickleball 365, they made it happen. They knew Ben was coming. They knew that we had our outstanding challenge. They have a ping pong table. They contacted me. They were like, Webby, how would you like to do your ping pong match against Ben Johns during this event? And I was like, hell yeah, please sign me up. And we did it. And basically, it's going to be an episode of Webby versus everybody. It should be coming out shortly after this episode of the podcast comes out, so stay tuned for that. But it was a lot of fun. I'm not going to tell you what happened, but I will tell you I'm pretty proud of myself. That's all I'm going to say.
Love it, man. I can't wait to check it out. It sounds like it's going to be a good time.
But you know what else is a good time?
Now it's time for Memes of the Week. Yeah!
That's right, it's Memes of the Week. It's a segment. It's hot. It's the hottest segment in all of Pickleball podcasts. So, Webby, let's start with you. What meme you got for us this week?
Well, I know you use their memes a lot, but I haven't had one of theirs in a while, so I'm going to take a turn. And this is from our good friends over at Memes of Pickleball, and this is called QD Got DQ'd.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
So good.
See if you can read this.
You're fired. And in case your ears are fucked, get the fuck out!
Same shit. Same place, different day.
I can honestly hear Connor saying that. Like word for word, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care, Jerry.
That's so true, man. He's probably a freaking rock star there. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Konnichiwa.
That's so funny.
So good.
So
Oh my
many
God.
incredible memes, Webby. That was a great pick, man.
Great job, Memes of Pickleball. And everybody tuning in, we only showed a fraction of what Memes of Pickleball actually did for this post. So if you want to see all of them, do yourself a favor, go to Memes of Pickleball and look at all of the posts that he did about that. They are so good.
Great stuff.
But that was my memes for the week. What do you got, Eddie?
Well, Webby, as you know, Beer City Open just happened, and there were some incredible moments during it. But there's one that I found very funny. And of course, Memes of Pickleball found it funny as well. And they did a meme on it. And this is, please enjoy a full minute and a half of Megan Dazan absolutely eating boyfriend AJ Kohler alive while playing each other at MLP.
And a little extra, and that is not the last time that conversation is going to happen today. I mean, it's like Megan knows where he's going to hit it. These are unbelievable, the levels.
Nice.
Let's go, Megan.
The jewel thief sends it past AJ. My goodness, what a shot on the back.
Oh my God, that was unbelievable. Listen, I'm big fans of both of them, but
Yeah.
I don't know, Webby, why is that so satisfying to watch Megan? First of all, the fact that she bagged him in the left shoulder, that was
Right.
classic. And then, yeah, ate his lunch, man. Like, why is that so satisfying to watch?
I don't know, but it is. It really, really is. I loved it.
That was great. Once again, Memes of Pickleball. Keep doing your thing. We'll keep showing you. If you guys haven't checked out Memes of Pickleball, you gotta go check them out. Go and follow or subscribe or whatever the hell it's called that you do on social media these days, and give them some love because, man, they put out some great stuff.
You got to check it out.
You gotta go check it out. Just like I'm gonna check out my watch and be like, oh wait, it's time.
Now it's time for Topics of the Week.
That's right. Topics of the week, where Eddie and I each pick a topic in the world of pickleball. So what kind of topic you got for us this week, Eddie?
Well, Webby, my life's been pretty boring when it comes to anything pickleball related. So honestly, you know that it killed me not to be at Beer City Open. It was the first time since the very first one that I wasn't there. Man, I wish I would have been able to pull it off, but I wasn't. But anyway, what I'm hoping to do is take my topic and just ask you, what was your experience like at Beer City Open? Tell me everything, man. I got to know.
Oh, man. Well, first off, it definitely was not the same without you there. Like, I'll be honest, the first day was a bummer. Like, it didn't feel right. and it was not the same at all without you there. So that part really sucked, and it's a bummer that you weren't able to make it. I know you're very bummed you weren't able to make it, and unfortunately, things in life just come up and prevent us from doing things we want to do. So I totally get it.
But you got over it real quick, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I was just about to say things turned around very quickly, and I had an absolute blast. But honestly, one cool thing that was really special to me is the fact that you were available the evening that I got into town at Grand Rapids, and you and I connected on Zoom. I brought my MacBook. I set it up over by the beer tent, and we were able to virtually enjoy a drink together. All right, and we are connected. Eddie is here live on Zoom. Unfortunately, not here in person. This is kind of a bummer, not gonna lie, the fact that you're not here for the first time ever for a Beer City Open.
Yeah, sometimes life happens, right? It's such a bummer, especially because we're going to be in Michigan a week from Sunday. We literally missed it by one weekend. So, Koop, Paul, if you guys would have moved it back 1 week just for me, I would have been able to be there, which I think is plenty of reason to, move the event around, right?
Right. Eddie and Webby and Beer City Open, we go hand in hand, so they should have checked with our schedules first.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I got to tell you, though, I am going to be in Grand Rapids for a couple weeks in August, so I'm excited to go back and maybe play some pickleball at Belknap Park and, relive some of the Grand Rapids glory that we've always had there. It's just, like, this event has been such a special thing for us. It's so weird to not be there,
Right. I just got here a few hours ago, but it's already not the same without you being here. Do you happen to have any adult beverages with you at the moment?
I do, and it's actually kind of crazy. 2 years ago, after the pre-party that happened at the Amway Grand, when Griffin Claw was there, you remember when we left with, like, caseloads of the vodka and soda blood orange flavor from Griffin Claw? Well, this is my last one from the fridge, so I figure what a better time than to drink that tonight.
Oh, nice. Perfect. I got one of our favorites, the good old reliable Fat Tire. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Oh, so good.
Webby, if I can't be there in person, I think we should chug. What do you think?
Oh, man. Eddie thinks we should chug. What do you guys think? Should we chug? I think they're all saying we should chug.
Yes.
I pretty much have my entire beer left. I only took like one sip so far, but I feel like I should do it for old time's sake. Ziggy zuggy, ziggy zuggy, oi, oi, oi. 3, 2, 1, chug. Oh.
Yep.
I did it. The whole thing. Oh. Oh, man. I feel like I just got brain freeze from chugging this beer because it's so ice cold and tasty.
I wish I could be there with you, Webby. Sounds like you're having fun. I'll be seeing you in sometime in the next month or so when I'm up in Michigan, and we'll be able to have a beer in person, and I can't wait to hear all about your adventures this weekend.
It was a cool way to start it off, even though you weren't there in person, being able to enjoy a drink with you that first Thursday evening that I was there. I will say, though, the vibe was a bit different this year because I'm sure, as you know, and anybody tuning in knows, this year was the first year that they started charging for grounds passes.
Yeah.
And in the past, it was always free. And it made me nervous for the event because in the past, there's been times where even though the event was free, the beginning matches of the tournament, a lot of times the stands were pretty empty. And when I got there on Thursday, I think Major League Pickleball had started on Wednesday this year, if I'm not mistaken, and I arrived on Thursday. And when I pulled up, I could not believe how insanely packed it was on a Thursday. And I was not expecting that whatsoever. But when I say the vibe was different, it was different for me personally because when I got there, you had to have credentials to get in this year. So if you were a player, you had a player wristband. If you got the VIP package, you had a special wristband. And I didn't have any of that stuff on me at the moment when I first walked in. And I actually got turned away when I first got
seriously?
there. Until somebody from Grand Rapids that knew me, they were like, "Oh no, this is Webby. He's with the media. Like, let him in." And somebody let me in. But that right there, that was a bit different. That was a different feeling than I'm used to because I'm so used to the Beer City Open almost being like a family reunion when we get there. And I feel like you and I are always greeted with open arms when we first get there just because of the history that we've had with the Beer City Open. So that part was a bit odd to me. But once I got into the grounds, And then once I started seeing the people I know, like Paul Richards, Nicole, and Tom Miller, it immediately, like the old school feelings came back, and it was just like, yeah, I'm back home. This is the place to be. And like I said, for a Thursday, it was crazy how jam-packed busy it was, and it just got busier and busier with each day. And I've never seen such an electric crowd throughout the whole entire event as I did this year, and it was very cool to see.
It definitely came through on the broadcast. All that I watched, like, it still had that same great feeling that you get from the Beer City Open, while kind of having that, additional layer that MLP brings to pickleball on top of it. And it even looked like it was even a step above last year, except for the fact that close call replay wasn't there. But other than that, it definitely seemed like it still had the same feel and charm of Belknap Park and Grand Rapids and Beer City Open.
Yeah, it definitely was not the same not having close call replay there. And there were numerous refs that walked up to me when they saw me. They got excited and they were like, "Oh, is close call replay back?" And I was like, "No, unfortunately." And they were all very bummed when they heard that you're not going to be there, and then very bummed that close call replay wasn't going to be part of it. And a lot of people, there was a lot of support for close call replay, and a lot of people were very bummed that it was not being implemented this year.
And what are you going to do,
Yeah. But, man, so many awesome things happened. I'm sure, as you guys saw at the beginning of the episode, I had the big White Castle Man figure, and if anybody watched the broadcast, he actually had some pretty big appearances throughout. And for anybody who isn't aware, I have a history with White Castle. I created a character called White Castle Man, a.k.a. Slider Man, and I got inducted into the White Castle Travers Hall of Fame. And in recent years, I've reached out to the Columbus Sliders organization just saying, like, if you guys ever need a mascot, let me know, because we could maybe do something with White Castle Man.
Yep.
And Darren Klinger, which is CJ Klinger's dad, he reached out to me and he's like, "Hey, any chance White Castle Man can make an appearance during Major League Pickleball?" And I didn't commit, but I was like, there's a chance. You never know. And so what I did is I grabbed this big figure that I made, but I also brought the full costume, and we worked out a deal to where if the Columbus Sliders would have made it into the finals, that I might have put on the full costume and helped pump up the crowd. So that was the stipulation. And unfortunately, actually for me, fortunately, they didn't make it because I did not want to put the costume on, to be honest. Especially, it was in the 90s. It was going to be super hot and sweaty. And the costume is very tight-fitting, very revealing. So I didn't want them to lose. But at the same time, I didn't really totally want them to win to where I would have to put the costume on.
You're a bit relieved, it sounds like.
Yeah, I was kind of mad at myself for saying that I would do that because they were starting to do really good. Like, they were playing well.
Yeah.
But in the quarterfinals, they were using the White Castle Man figure like as a way to pump up the crowd. They were holding it up and stuff, and it was shown on TV quite a bit. That was a very cool moment. Then the day after that was Singles Day. Record of 1-2, which is still better than I usually do. I went 1-2 last year. I was hoping to go at least 2-2 this year. But I feel like next year's my year. Next year is my year. I'm going to drill this year, I think. Maybe. I keep saying I'm going to drill, but I never do. But I think I'm going to start drilling this year, try to get better. And then Saturday morning was another really cool, maybe even the coolest moment of my BCO tournament playing career. And I teamed up with my daughter in mixed doubles, and it was one of my favorite tournament moments up to this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to play with your daughter. That's amazing. At the Beer City Open, which is a prestigious tournament to play in that, most people that want to play don't get to. So that's such a huge opportunity.
Yeah, it was awesome. And we had a pretty good crowd watching our match and cheering us on and stuff like that. So very cool that she got to experience something like that. And definitely a tournament highlight for me. And then the finals were awesome as always. Major League Pickleball. I love that format. Always super fun to watch. But I stayed one extra night because there were some pro clinics going on the Monday after Beer City Open. And Lina Pettigimaite, hopefully I said her name right. I feel like I always butcher her name, but I think that's pretty close.
Enough. Yeah, close enough.
But Lina and Irina Tereshchenko, good friend of ours, they were doing a clinic together. And as I've done in the past, I always love to get a chance to record clinics for the pro players. It's a great way to show their teaching style. It's a great way for viewers to learn some things and stuff like that. So I always love doing pro clinics and making videos out of them. And they were nice enough to let me mic them both up and record footage so everybody can stay tuned for that video. That should be a good one. And then, like I said earlier, right after I left Grand Rapids, I went to the east side of the state and then went to Pickleball 365 for that event with Ben and Colin. So this was just an absolutely incredible week, like one of the most action-packed and fun pickleball weeks of my life. Somehow these experiences keep happening. I keep thinking like, okay, this is it. I've peaked when it comes to pickleball experiences. It can't get any better than what I've already experienced. And then somehow each year something like this happens, and it's one of the best moments of my life.
That's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you. I think it's great that you had such a great event and a great experience there. Not surprised. Beer City Open, they're just great community, great events. Like, come on, Grand Rapids pickleball community, they're incredible.
It's still my absolute favorite event when it comes to pickleball every single year. I'm super excited for next year's again. It's wild. You would think after this long that it would get old or get boring or just become the same old, but somehow every year it gets bigger and better than the previous, which it doesn't seem like it's possible that they could keep doing, but they always find a way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. But it's also because they keep making it better, right? That's one of the things I love about the Beer City Open is that it still has the same feel that it did from the very first event. But at the same time, it's gotten so much better incrementally every single year. That's a hard thing to balance, and they pull it off.
Yeah, it really is impressive. I don't know how they do it, but they do a great job every year. In fact, for my topic this week, what I wanted to do is while I was at Beer City Open is I wanted to walk around with a microphone and talk to some of the key players at the Beer City Open, the people responsible for making the Beer City Open what it is. And that's what I did. I got a chance to talk to a whole bunch of really nice, really cool people that we've known for a very long time. In fact, most of them we've known since the very first ever Beer City Open. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out some of the interviews I got. Thanks, Eddie and Webby. I am here on location at the 2025 Beer City Open, and I have a very special guest joining me here. You want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hello, my name's Bob Trout. I'm local here to Grand Rapids and part of one of the volunteer captains. I work with the referees. I'm the referee host, referee coordinator.
Nice. And if I'm not mistaken, haven't you been part of this event since the very first one?
Oh, absolutely. Right from the very beginning, Paul and Andrea and I had sat down and started talking over things. Andrea and Paul convinced us that it'd be a good idea, and it's turned into just an outstanding event.
Yeah, Eddie and I were lucky enough to have just stumbled upon this tournament. I found it online. I saw that it was called the Beer City Open, and I was like, dude, we have to do this tournament. There's a whole bunch of breweries all around it. Let's just get drunk. We'll play some pickleball. We'll beat some old people because we figured it was just only old people doing this tournament. But then we were in for a very rude awakening when we got here. We had no idea that professional pickleball existed until this tournament. And when we saw the very high-level pickleball going on here, it lit a fire under us. And I've told Andrea Koop this numerous times, but the very first event of Beer City Open, I feel, is the reason why Eddie and I are still doing our podcast and YouTube channel, because it just motivated us so much to get involved more in the sport. And here we are, what are we, 7, 8 years later?
8 years. And I actually remember your little interviews out at Perrin Brewing. The first year were fairly concentrated and copacetic. The second one got a little long, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the second year, that's when Eddie and I did our live episode from Perrin Brewing at the pre-party. And that was a crazy night. We had to split that up into 2 episodes because it was so long. The episode ended up getting hijacked by Rob Cassidy and other pros that probably had a few too many drinks at Perrin. But man, that was so much fun. To this date, that was my all-time favorite episode we've ever done. But man, it's so cool to see how much this tournament has grown over the years.
I asked the MLP ticket person a little while ago. It said, how was today? And he goes, I think about 1,000 tickets. That's a really good day for first ticket day of the event. And I had noticed yesterday, too, that Anna Lee was warming up, and there was a crowd watching then. It was pretty cool. This is pickleball country for...
Oh, for sure. It's always been very impressive here, but this year, there's something different about this year. It's just this event in general always got bigger and better each year. And if today is any indication, this is going to be the biggest one yet.
Yeah, we're hoping to hold off the rain, which there's some of that projected. But even with that, we continue inside.
Yep.
And we did yesterday. We split our brackets, so we had 4 brackets inside. We ran the rest outside. Finished on time and didn't have to shorten any games or anything.
Wow.
It was pretty good.
That's very impressive. And it's very rare for a tournament to have an indoor backup, and that's one thing I've always appreciated about Beer City Open. It hasn't always worked out to have an indoor backup, but I was very surprised that it did work out this year for how big the event is, how many divisions, how many brackets there are for there to be an indoor option as a backup. That's one of the many reasons why I absolutely love this tournament. They care about everybody who signs up for the tournament. They just want the best experience. So yeah, thank you and everybody who's involved in this amazing tournament.
Yeah, we're just pleased. And I talked to one of the vendors today and said people walk in and they're smiling. They're having a great time. It's a great viewing on every court. Good food trucks, beer garden. It's got a lot of good things going for it.
Oh yeah.
We hope people come back. Actually, one of the Challenger players played yesterday and was done. And he came up to one of our volunteers and said, I changed my ticket, so I'm staying another 3 or 4 days.
Nice.
Because this is just a good time.
Oh, yeah. I feel like there's no other tournament like that. Nobody's going to stay extra days than they have to just because the event is such a good experience. So, I mean, that's pretty rare. So you guys should definitely be proud of what you've accomplished over the years. It's incredible to see. Thank you very much, Bob, for taking the time to talk to me here. And let's see who we find next. All right, I am now here with one of our very good friends here at the Beer City Open. In fact, Eddie and I met this gentleman at the very first ever Beer City Open. You want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, sure. I'm Tom Miller, part of the Grand Rapids Pickleball Club here. I'm on the board here and the BCO Senior Management Committee, and been all part of it since the very beginning 8 years ago.
Why do you think so many people have just fallen in love with this particular tournament?
I mean, I think it's because it's the atmosphere, the fun. It's kind of like the U.S. Open. It's a party, but it's also a great tournament. The spectators get to be up close and personal with all the pros, and I mean the amateurs are playing, the pros are playing. Food trucks, music, party time. It's the atmosphere. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely like a big party. Just everywhere I step, I see somebody I know, either friends of mine or professional pickleball players. It's just so cool to be able to watch that. Like right over here, there's people I know playing on the amateur courts. Right over there are some of the top pros in the whole sport with Major League Pickleball. I mean, just it's unreal. I absolutely love it every year. And somehow you guys manage to make it bigger and better every year. How is that possible?
Well, I mean, we try to do at least something every year. Last year was the owner's deck here for all the MLP team owners and the whole walkway. And this year, I mean, we didn't have any big things. ESPN was here with their 50 states in 50 days, which was pretty cool. The mid-season tournament, all 22 teams are here again, so that's really cool. Eventually, hopefully, we're going to have a big stadium court, more courts, more parking, hopefully. That's a kind of a drag here. The parking is limited, but it still doesn't deter people from coming. As you can see, I mean, it's packed, and the excitement level's big, so yeah.
Yeah, you guys do such a phenomenal job. What would you say is the toughest thing that goes into preparing a big event like this? There's probably too many to name, but what's one of the things that comes to mind?
The toughest thing, I think, is the weather. When it rains, like it did this morning, having to move indoors, which it really went off without a glitch. We had all the matches started on time for the amateurs over at Grand Rapids Racket and Fitness, so we are blessed to have the indoor backup. But, yeah, weather makes it tough, trying to get everything dried. But we started all the MLP matches on time at 12:30. And I don't know. It's just, I mean, we have a great team, lots and lots and lots of volunteers. Everyone does their job well, and it's a well-oiled machine. We have a few hiccups here and there, but it always seems to come together. So,
yeah, your crew here, all the volunteers, like it's amazing to see what they do throughout this tournament. And when you talked about how it was raining earlier, in the past few years, anytime it has rained, it blows my mind how quickly you guys are able to dry off the courts and get them playable again. Like immediately after the rain is done, the crew is out there. They don't skip a beat, and I feel like sometimes like 20 to 30 minutes later, the games are all back in action again. Like that's just insane.
Yeah, especially with championship court and the grandstand court. I mean, that's our number one to get those matches going right away. We have 3 or 4 Vaptors, which work great. So we go through the Vaptors. We have a process that we do it, and then in towels and blowers. And, yeah, usually we can get championship court ready in about 20 minutes. So
Yeah, it's awesome. And then also, like you mentioned, how earlier today some of the divisions got moved indoors. My division was one of those. There was no delays whatsoever. It was flawless. The timing went great, minimal waiting time. And I think it's unheard of for a tournament of this capacity to even have an indoor backup. I mean, that is just one of the many amazing things about the Beer City Open that I absolutely love.
Yeah, we're very blessed to have Grand Rapids Racket and Fitness as a backup. It's still, it's the same surface, which makes it nice. Same balls, so it kind of sets us apart because we do have that backup, and not a lot of tournaments do. So I'm sure everyone's been to a tournament where it's rained and you don't play, and we like to make that a little different here.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it's always such a downer. But thank you very much for joining me, Tom. Thank you and all the volunteers for everything that you do. It's just amazing. It blows my mind every year, and I'm excited to see next year's. We still got a couple of great days of action here left to go, but I'm already looking forward to next year's.
Yes, sir. Yep, ready for BCO 2026, so we'll see what that brings.
That's right. All right, well, have a good one.
Yes, thank you.
All right, I'm here with another very special guest. You want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, my name is Bob Swisshelm. I'm a USA Pickleball certified referee, and I happen to have the privilege of being the head ref for this year's Beer City Open.
Very nice. And for anybody who tunes into our podcast regularly, you might know that I interviewed Mike Baumgardner, who is the co-host of a podcast that Bob is the other co-host of. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Mike is the director of officiating for APP. I am one of the head refs for APP. A little while back, Mike suggested strongly to me that I assist him in a podcast. The idea is that it is a podcast by referees, but for players. So we talk about hopefully relatively short topics. We need to get better at that we think you guys ought to know, or that you tell us that you want to know about, so that you understand what we're doing, you understand the rules, you know how to use those rules to your advantage.
Yeah, I love it. As I told Mike, I think it's a brilliant idea because there are a lot of rules out there that some people either just misunderstand, or just, it's crazy how many people I have heard tell people the rules the wrong way because
Absolutely.
They don't understand them.
Absolutely. The concept that, there is a rule book, it just is amazing to people.
Yeah.
And so what we try to do as referees is to dispel the untruths and show people what the truth is. And most often what we're doing is, I'll use we do Bible quotes, right? Whenever you see me post anything out on Facebook, not only do I give you the answer, but then I also give you the rule to help you understand that this is the reason why we're making that particular declaration.
Nice. I love it. I think it's great. I think if anybody hasn't tuned into it yet, you definitely want to check out View from the Post. But here we are at the Beer City Open. I love this event. How many times have you been a part of the Beer City Open?
I think as a referee or a head ref, this is my 6th time.
Nice.
So I'm from Indiana, so I'm about 4 hours south from here. And Beer City, from the get-go, has been the place to go in this particular area to get wonderful support, see the best players around the world play, and then the Grand Rapids Pickleball Club are amazing hosts. The venue gets better every year because the money that they get out of here, they throw right back into improving this facility. So this is one, if not the most enjoyable tournaments throughout the year.
Yeah, I tell everybody this is my favorite event of the entire year. But I mean, to be able to see the best pros in the game, and then also to be able to compete in this tournament, it's a very well-run tournament. You've actually refereed some of my matches in the past few years.
Yep.
And it's different. Having a referee in your match, it's just different. I like it a lot better. It just feels higher quality. And when you guys call the foot faults, I mean, that's stuff that I never see in the moment, but there's been so many times where I'll look back at a tournament that I did and my opponent will have a foot fault and I just didn't see it.
Right.
But then on the flip side, sometimes I do a foot fault too, and I was like, oh man, good thing nobody saw that.
We have so many players that tell us, I never foot fault. Well, have you ever had a referee? No.
Right.
Well, that probably means nobody caught you on the foot fault.
Yep, totally true. Man, this was awesome. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you check out View from the Post podcast, but we'll talk to you later.
All right, see you on the courts.
All right, I am now joined by somebody very important to Eddie and I. He plays a very crucial role here at the Beer City Open, so please introduce yourself and tell everybody what it is you do here at the Beer City Open.
My name's Gavin Fullerton. I run the beverages at the tournament here. So they need somebody to volunteer. I don't really even work in beverages anymore, but they needed somebody to make sure that we had beer at the Beer City Open. So I volunteered pretty promptly for that job.
Oh, yes.
But just trying to make sure that everybody can have a drink while they're here.
Keyword beer. This is the beer tent behind us, and this is where Eddie and I spend a lot of our time at the Beer City Open. Anytime Eddie and I play in a division at the Beer City Open, we almost immediately go to the beer bracket. So he is one of our best friends every year at the Beer City Open. He has treated us well over the years many times, but how fun is this job, being able to serve people alcohol?
It's great fun. I mean, a lot of it's just the people, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, that's really why I do it. You know, a lot of us take off vacation for the week just for this, and that's really just to be out and about and make sure we can hopefully put on a good tournament, be good hosts, and probably serve some drinks along the way.
Very nice. And I mean, the Beer City Open, I mean, this is a very crucial part. I mean, the beer tent, I feel like, is the heart and soul of the Beer City Open. I mean, without beer, it would just be the City Open. I mean,
True.
But seriously, like Eddie and I have spent a lot of time here, and this to us, it makes it so much more enjoyable. Like, even once we get eliminated from a tournament, like, we're really bummed at first, but then we can get a drink, watch some super high level pro pickleball, or watch our friends play pickleball. I mean, it's hard to beat that. It's such a fun experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was definitely the part that I was like, well, if it's one of those ones, I can put some time into that one for
Right.
for having some beer available.
So how long have you been part of the Beer City Open?
I think this is either my 4th or 5th year.
Okay.
I'd have to look at the math on it. I'm sure I've got an Excel tracker somewhere that will tell me exactly how many years. But it's been kind of refined. Each year we hopefully get better each year and improve from last year's logistics and tactics and making sure everything runs smoothly.
Yeah, and I feel like you guys have definitely succeeded in that area. Every year it does seem bigger and better, from the pickleball courts to the way the tournament is run to the beer tent. Everything. I feel like every year you guys have different options in the beer tent. In fact, right now we're drinking something I've never had before. It's called Light Strike, and this is very delicious. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this beverage?
Yeah, of course. Now, I probably won't do it justice. I'll try, but it is a new product from New Belgium. It's great. I actually quite enjoy it. Hence why this is probably, I won't tell you how many I've had today, but a few. It's a refresher, so it's got a little bit of coconut flavor. This one, I believe, is the orange mango. We've got the lemon lime as well.
Yeah, this is very good. It's called a hard refresher. It definitely accomplishes the refresher area.
Yes, yep, exactly. When I first tried it, I was like, oh, this is actually going to be quite good for hot temperatures. We do have other Stella beers as well, so definitely our fair share of assortments.
Yeah, I love it. I love when the pickleball tournament has a beer tent. Eddie and I have pushed for all tournaments to have these, especially the big ones with the pros. You guys need a beer tent. It just makes things so much more fun.
Yeah, I would like to give a quick shout out if I could.
Yeah, go for it.
Just to all the volunteers that come to the event and all the people who come to the event not as volunteers. Really appreciate everybody coming out. A lot of people put a lot of time into it, whether it's to travel here to go play. Some of the people travel here just to volunteer. But that's kind of what makes the tournament special.
Oh, for sure.
If it wasn't for the people, I probably wouldn't be here, to be honest.
Absolutely.
So that's really the thing that keeps us going. So shout out to all you people out there who volunteered. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I definitely could not agree more. The volunteers are definitely what make this event so special. I think no matter who you ask, they would agree with that. But thanks again for taking the time to meet with me, and cheers.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
All right, I'm here with another very special guest. You want to introduce yourself to everybody here?
My name is Courtney Johnson. I am the head of competition for Major League Pickleball.
Very nice. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't last year your first Beer City Open event that you've been to?
It absolutely was. It was my first time in 2024 at the Beer City Open.
2024, okay. Yep. And what did you think of the event?
Stop it. Nothing but good things. I had heard for many years the reputation about the Beer City Open, and it absolutely exceeded expectations. It was a wonderful event.
Nice. And I know last year I got a chance to work with you and the referee crew for Close Call Replay doing the video replays, and that was very cool. It was very eye-opening to get a behind-the-scenes look of what goes on with the refs when it comes to video challenges and stuff like that. A lot more goes into it than people think. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Like what goes into doing really good video replays when it comes to Major League Pickleball?
Yeah, absolutely. So fantastic equipment, fantastic cameras, fantastic people to operate the cameras. Like honestly, having someone that knows the game, can anticipate, hey, this might be challenged by the players on the court, be able to pull up that line call quickly, and so that the referees can efficiently do their job and turn around a quick video challenge. All these things have to come into sync together to make a really good product, a really good video challenge.
Absolutely. And
process.
I got to give all the credit to Eddie and Kyle Solinko because they were the ones. They ran the whole thing. I was just there kind of helping and stuff. But, man, that was such a cool experience. And working with the refs, like, it's awesome to see how serious you all take it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they look at it frame by frame, make sure that you can actually see it good enough to overturn the call or not. And I think that's crucial for the game. And I'm glad that it's getting implemented a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what we need for the game to take off. And it's
yeah.
good to see.
If we want to take that next step and be a legitimate sport and, have the rest of the world take us seriously, I think efficient video challenges with great equipment are really going to help us propel our sport into the future.
For sure. So what would you say is the most difficult thing about what you do in your role, or one of the most difficult? I'm sure there's a lot.
Well, I guess when things get heated on the court, and we'll look at MLP Orlando, for example. When one player, I won't name any names, one player comes into the opponent's bench and gets in their face, sometimes I just pop in and diffuse situations. Just these athletes, they get heated, they want to win. I totally understand it, but sometimes they let their emotions get the best of them, and we just need to de-escalate things and refocus on the game.
Yeah, and I think you do a great job with that, and I absolutely love your work when it comes to the Pickleball Slam events that have happened in the past. I mean, the tennis players, they seem to like to give you a hard time, but I like how you don't take any crap from them, and you're down to business, and sometimes they kind of come across as whiny babies sometimes.
Well, they do. It's like, and I understand they're athletes too, and they get, they want to win. They're heated in the moment, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I've forgotten more about pickleball rules than you will ever know.
Right.
So I don't let it affect me. You got to have thick skin as a referee. So the Pickleball Slam, I really do genuinely just have a good time with that. It helps get more eyeballs on our sport, which another thing will help us grow ultimately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me here, and we'll see you guys later. All right, I am now here with a very special guest, one of the people who is the reason why this tournament even exists in the first place, the one and only Andrea Koop. How's it going?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Doing great. So remind everybody, when was it that you first came up with the idea to do Beer City Open?
Our first year was in 2018. I had basically just started pickleball, and I figured out early on that the bigger tournaments in pickleball were in Utah, Arizona, Florida, and California. So I went to Paul, who was then and still is today, how things get done in Grand Rapids Pickleball. And I said, hey, Paul, we should put on a bigger tournament at Belknap Park. We have a great crew. We have a good facility. And he said no right away. But he was drinking beer. I think it was a Michelob Ultra. It doesn't take much for him. And 2 Michelob Ultras later, he said yes.
Nice. Yeah, Paul Richards, he's the man. He's responsible he controls all the volunteers, right? Doesn't he take charge of all the volunteer committees and stuff like that?
Paul oversees all things operations for the Beer City Open. So yes, our 500-some volunteers, Paul is at the top of that pyramid.
Yeah, Paul is awesome. Andrea is awesome. As everybody knows, she's one of the top players in the game. I still can't get over how this event manages to get bigger and better every single year. What do you attribute that to?
I mean, we can't imagine it either. If you would have asked Paul and I in 2018 or told us it would look like this now, we would laugh at you. We never imagined it either. But we have an amazing crew. The city is very supportive of us. It's a completely community-based event. The entire town gets behind it, and I think that's a testament to, pickleball in general, just the community of it, and Paul's leadership.
Yeah, and I just remember back in 2018, that was when Eddie and I first came here. I randomly found the tournament online, and I was like, dude, it's called Beer City Open. There's a bunch of great craft breweries all around. Let's just drink as much beer as we can. We'll play some pickleball. It should be a fun time. We'll probably play with a bunch of old people, but we'll still have fun. But then when we got here, like, we were one of the older people in a lot of the brackets because I had never seen such a young pickleball community as when I came here that year. And then to see the pro scene, I mean, I didn't even know pro pickleball existed at the time.
I mean, at the time, pro pickleball was playing for $400. So
Yeah.
we really, I thank Kyle Yates and Irina Tereshchenko, Simone Jardim, Tyson McGuffin, who's still out there crushing, but they're the pioneers of pro pickleball. And without them being willing to play for $400, meaning losing money going to every tournament,
Right.
we wouldn't have this event today. They started it by showing us what elite pickleball looks like 7 years ago, and every year the game is evolving and getting better. But like I said, we owe a lot to them for being willing to bust and grind for, I guess, negative money at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and back then in 2018, the term pro pickleball was used very loosely. Nobody even really knew what it meant to be considered a pro pickleballer. But now people can make a very good living playing pickleball. So it's definitely a professional sport now. This event is evidence of that. I mean, I was telling people before, I was kind of nervous when I heard you guys were going to be charging for the grounds passes to get on here, but the stands are absolutely packed. I mean, it's insane.
I know, it's crazy. We were nervous too. We didn't know what to expect because we've never charged before. But I'm a lawyer, and I look at it this way. If you want to be respected and you know you're giving out a good product, you have to charge for your product, because in all industries, if people ask, why don't you charge, or why aren't you charging more, they wonder if something's wrong with you. And we know what type of product we're putting out there, an event. And I think our fees were quite modest, and not too many people batted an eye. The place is packed.
Yeah, almost everybody who comes here goes away saying this is one of the best events they've ever attended, just from the volunteers to the top-notch pro action. I mean, just everything about this event is amazing. So thank you, thank Paul, thank everybody that's part of Grand Rapids Pickleball. I absolutely love this event. I look forward to it every year, and I already can't wait for next year's.
Thank you for saying that. Cheers, everybody.
All right, cheers.
Man, so cool. It's so good to see some of the familiar faces too, right? Like all the people that have been involved with the Beer City Open for a long time, some new faces. You can tell that this event really comes down to the people. The people are what make it what it is. They make the Beer City Open what it is. And this is a great example of that.
Absolutely. And if it was not for most of the people we talked to and the volunteers that work at the Beer City Open, it would not even exist to this day. Like the fact that they have so many amazing volunteers and that they do such an incredible job, that is absolutely what makes the Beer City Open what it is the volunteers and all the hard work that Paul and Andrea and everybody does to make this my all-time favorite event.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Is there more content coming? I mean, usually when you end up making like 20 videos from the Beer City Open, so I can't imagine this is it.
Well, it's funny you say that because I ended with Andrea Koop, and she is not the only pro player that I talked to, but you guys are going to have to wait until the next episode to see what kind of interviews we got with the pro players. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. A lot of fun and crazy things happened.
Yeah, that is definitely our experience at Beer City Open. A lot of fun and crazy things happen. Just like this episode was very fun, very crazy. Hope you guys liked it. But we can't end until we hear Webby's
closing thoughts.
So what did we learn today? Well, we learned that Kwang Dong fucked around and found out. We also learned that AJ Kohler may have upset Megan Dizon because she basically ate his lunch at the Beer City Open. We also talked about my experience at this year's Beer City Open, and we learned why the event is so special. But that's going to do it for episode 103 of Dinking Around with Addie and Webby.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know down in the comments below if you did. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. If you want to like this video, we would appreciate it as well. And all the other slimy, dirtbaggy stuff that we're going to ask you to do to help out our channel, just go ahead and do it, please. It really means a lot to us. And on that note, I'm Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
So yeah.
Well, we're dinking around with Eddie and Webby. Dinking around with Eddie and Webby tonight.
Oh yeah.